Well, it's not Battlefield 6 Firestorm, and it's not Battlefield 3 Firestorm, but today we are on some Battlefield 4. I figured it's about time I hop back on this game. Absolutely love revisiting it, and honestly, I play it probably as much, or maybe even more than the new Battlefield 6 nowadays. I think the main reason for that is because back in the day, these games came complete, you know? They came with all the maps, came with all the vehicles, you knew what you was getting from day one, and nowadays with Battlefield 6, you just don't get that luxury. And that does bring me to the main topic, which is going to be Season 2 for Battlefield 6, and I just recently watched the trailer, so it is kind of fresh on my mind, and I'm just so tired year after year with these Battlefield games, and even Call of Duty, recycling old content that we used to have in these beautiful games and calling it new. For people that don't know, we used to have dirt bikes in Battlefield. We used to have Little Birds. They've always been there in these games on day one. Only until recent years, they decided to take them out and recycle them as a new content. And I've kind of just had enough with it, honestly. You know, I am an older gamer, so I do remember the good old days. And I genuinely feel bad for younger gamers not experiencing those days where games just came polished already. Again, you know, there were issues. Every game has its issues. You know, with Battlefield games, they were notorious for server issues and all that good stuff. But when it came to content, it was there on day one. And if it wasn't, they had map packs back in the day. It is what it sounds like. We actually got new maps and occasionally a gun. But for the majority of the weapons, the vehicles, and the maps, they were already there in the game. But I am definitely well aware that I am not the only one that feels this way about these newer games and when it comes to recycling content. But of course, I would love to hear your opinion on all this. I would guess for the most part, if you are an older gamer, you could definitely agree with me. Or maybe you just say, you know what, quit being a cranky old gamer and accept the way things are nowadays, which, you know, I won't. I mean, if you gave me the option to play Battlefield 6 or Battlefield 4, I'm playing Battlefield 4. Guy up top. There was a guy down below. My teammate might have got him. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh my gosh, let's go. Sometimes I do kind of stay away from the M16 and core because it does have like a little bit of a trigger lock. You can't just burst as much as you like. And as it goes for Battlefield 6, you know, I'm just not unsatisfied with the recycling of vehicles. It's also the weapons, you know, I mean, each year we get so-called new weapons. But these are weapons that have been in the game in the past. I mean, we see with Portal last year, all the introductions of the Portal weapons. And I guess they weren't claiming as new content, but these were all weapons we had in the past. And these are weapons that should have been in the game day one. And I do appreciate, you know, Battlefield giving us some retro maps at the beginning of the year with Operation Firestorm. And I think there might have been another one that is slipping my mind, but Firestorm, of course, is the biggest one. But you can't tell me they don't have the capability to introduce, you know, some other retro maps at the beginning of the year. Of course they do, but they're just going to hold on to it and save it for the seasons, which in its own self is something I totally hate nowadays is with these seasons. I think it gives them an excuse to do what they're doing, which is holding out on content that has been in the game in the past. And it does feel like these seasons are, you know, kind of destroying creativity and games to experiment and evolve. I feel like they always take the safe option and giving us something they know is a sure deal because we already once had it before. It's been a while since I've been in the gunner seat, I can tell you that. Not sure if I remember how to do this or not. Well, that's probably why I quit getting in vehicles. Oh my gosh, the timing on that could not have been any more perfect. But as it goes for my opinion with Battlefield 6, I think I voiced it pretty well, but for sure let me know. You just tried C4 me in the air? Are you kidding me, buddy? Bad recon. But like I was saying, I voiced my opinion pretty well. But if you do agree, disagree, love to hear about it in the comments. So please let me know. There we go. This gun is so good at range. Dang on, somebody at the DMR behind me is going crazy. Oh, let's go. That probably just stole his kill right there, honestly. Oh, let's go. Good shots, guys. And if you haven't been on my channel before, you know I absolutely love going back and playing older video games. They don't really just stop with Battlefield. In my last video, I did go back and play some Titanfall 2. And I always do suggest, you know, going back and playing these older games. Especially games like this where they still have a good player base. And the game itself is just nice, you know. In my opinion, still better than some of the current games we have nowadays. You can disagree if you'd like. And I do find it super important to go back and play these games regardless because, You never know when you're going to have another opportunity to do so. With the way game companies operate nowadays, it seems like they're always pulling the plug on servers, so these games might not be here in the future. Don't worry, buddy, I got you. There we go. This gun does not really shoot the best on the move, does it? Which would make sense, I guess. It's so chaotic up here. Got him. Probably should have aimed in. Would have worked out a little bit better. Hello, buddy. Nice little hip fire. Sometimes that red dot does come in handy. Like I said, comes in handy sometimes. Got right here, I think. Nope, maybe not. Oh my gosh, the hip fire is so real right now. Like I did mention in the beginning, I would love to absolutely see these younger gamers experience these older Battlefield games because they were just so iconic and just so great. And I think it'd be in really Battlefield's best interest to remaster these games. But if they did do it, I want them to do it the right way. You know, don't leave any of the content out. Let's have all the content that was there in the beginning. Let's keep it there. And for goodness sake, can we please reintroduce some sea battles? Because I'm getting tired of only fighting on land. When I remember back in this game I'm playing, in Battlefield 3, we were able to fight on water. I don't understand why they took that away and why it's not an option anymore. I seen you, buddy. Sometimes my gun just quit shooting. I don't know what is up with that. That was insane. Okay, I deserve to die. Teabag. What year is this? 2026 and we're teabagging. It almost brings a tear to my eye, honestly. Oh gosh. If I was to be truly honest when it comes to remastering these Battlefield games, I don't think EA can really pull it off anymore. I think their mindset has changed so much. It's such a money-hungry company nowadays. It's not about the fans. It's not about making the best game possible. It really isn't. If it was, all the content that we're seeing being reintroduced would be in the game at launch, okay? So definitely the chances of us ever getting a remastered Battlefield game is already low enough, but the fact they can actually pull it off and do it to my standards of what a Battlefield game should be, which is the standards they've already set in the past, it's just not possible. I just don't see it. It needs to be a whole nother company come in and take control. Where you going, buddy? Not picking on my teammate or anything, are you? Oh, let's go. Killing it right now. I do like this gun, but man, that trigger lock is just so annoying sometimes. I'm telling you, so far, we're not doing too bad. But it has been a while since I asked this question, and I have mentioned a ton of Battlefield games. But for all my older gamers, or even new gamers out there, you know, whatever games you have experience with, how am I not dead? Oh, I'm sorry, that's just pathetic how that dude missed all those shots. Oh, I'm sorry. But like I was saying, all the games I've played in the Battlefield series, all the games that you've played, let me know what is your favorite Battlefield of all time. You know, there's really not a wrong answer. Unless you said maybe Battlefield Hardline, I'd maybe disagree with you a little bit. Same with Battlefield Hardline. It was an okay game. It was a new twist on a Battlefield idea, and it just didn't feel like Battlefield in the end, honestly. I didn't mind the game a whole lot. I mean, it was, like I said, a different twist. It was more fast-paced. It was fun at times. But it just didn't feel like Battlefield. I feel like if the game would have had a different name tag on it, it would have done a lot better. Man, we are beasting out here right now. Yes, we are. And with this game coming to an end, like usual, definitely recommend still playing this game. Absolute classic in the series. And definitely let me know down in the comments your opinions on any of the subjects that I talked about. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.